Well, we advanced a new framework to try to make it easier to get new innovations onto the market. The idea is that there's a lot of new ingredients that are in sunscreens already on the market that could be in sunscreens that might offer better protection than some of the available, the historical ingredients. And we want to make it easier to bring these things to market. And so we created a framework that allows manufacturers with some testing requirements to prove that the products are safe to put new ingredients into sunscreen products.
You know, I am somebody who has severe allergic reactions to a lot of different things. Sunblock has been a big issue for me. There's only two things that I can really count on. That's the titanium dioxide and the zinc oxide. All the other stuff that's in there, I'm really afraid of. How do I know that that stuff is going to be safe? How do I know as a consumer which is going to potentially give me an allergic reaction, which isn't?
Well, we've cleared zinc oxide and titanium oxide for marketing. We've recognized them as generally regarded as safe and effective, what we call GRACE. There's 12 other ingredients that are currently marketed in the U.S. in some form that we're gathering more information on. We've asked the manufacturers to submit more information, basically some long-term toxicology studies. Because of the changing way that consumers use sunscreen, they use it more often, they put it on more parts of their bodies. We see parents putting it on young children. We're going back and gathering some information that we never had. That doesn't mean that we think these ingredients aren't safe. In fact, we think many of them are safe and are effective. But we're just trying to be good regulators and gather the information to support that. And we think we'll be able to clear a lot of these for continued marketing in the U.S. But
how'd that stuff wind up on the market in the first place if it never went through approvals?
Well, it was a very old process, a monograph process that really made it difficult for the agency to gather all the information that we would want in order to just ensure the long-term safety and effectiveness of these products. Again, it doesn't mean that we think any of these products aren't safe, but we like to have a lot of information about the long-term toxicology, especially given the changing way that consumers are using sunscreen. So we're going back and gathering it now under this new framework. We think a lot of these ingredients, these other ingredients, and there's 12 in all, we think a lot of them, if not most of them, are going to be cleared for marketing, even under the requirements of this new framework.
A lot or most doesn't include all. That does sound like you think there could be some that are potentially bad for you.
Well, we don't think they're going to be bad for you. I mean, we need to look at the relative effectiveness of them. There's probably going to be some that are more effective than others. That doesn't mean that they're not effective, but we want to gather that information so consumers can make informed choices. You know, if one ingredient is going to provide better protection than another one, we want consumers to know that. We've also done some other things. If you want to state that your sunscreen provides broad spectrum coverage, it has to cover both UVA and UVB.
That doesn't mean that right now?
Not necessarily, and have a minimum SPF of 15. So we've created some more standardized requirements for different nomenclature. And we've also required information to be disclosed in more prominent ways on the labeling of sunscreen so consumers can more easily identify what they're getting.
The stuff that you spray on, do you have any concerns at all about that?
No, because it turns out that the way these things have been formulated, they've been formulated in particle sizes that are large enough that they don't get into the small airways. We would have concerns if they were formulated in ways that created very small particle sizes that got into small airways and could potentially, you know, create some irritation or even damage to the lungs. But when we looked at these different ingredients, the ones that are currently marketed, through this new framework, so the new framework allows us to take a harder look at the safety of these products, we feel pretty confident that most of them are formulated in a responsible manner.
Dr. Gottlieb, your last day as the commissioner is on Sunday, correct?
No, 2 weeks from now, and we have a lot of stuff we're going to do between now and then, including I'm testifying twice before Congress. So I really packed in a busy 2 weeks.
All right, so this is not the last time we're going to see you.
No, hopefully not.
You couldn't schedule that before the testimony, Scott? I mean, there must be a way to.
They kept me around to testify on the budget.
Too late.
Yeah.
Keep talking. Yeah, I'd get the heck out of there. So, Scott, I just think about, I have gingers for kids, and it's just scary. I mean, I've had basal cell, I've had squamous, I've had irregular nevus. I guess I got too much sun, right? Is any of that a precursor to actual melanoma or in situ melanoma or something? I mean, if you have basal cell all the time, does that indicate you've gotten too much sun?
Well, it's certainly an indication you've gotten too much sun. You know, some of these different skin cancers are correlated, some are not. But it's an indication that you have sun damage.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you don't even know it half the time. I guess it's something, when you go outside, you should have a good brand on the exposed areas. It's just common sense.
And reapply after you've been in water, right?
And reapply, okay.